Okay, so we're finally starting the podcast here. So, my name is Nick. I'm your host. This is Albin and David. So, I guess in this first section, we're gonna just present ourselves and talk about a little bit about what we like to do, who we are, and what we do, pretty much. So, I, just like David here, I have my own website. It's an e-commerce store right here, Ace of Hearts, sponsored. And I sell playing cards and T-shirts as well. I still go to school. I'm 17 right now, and I'm from Brazil. And that's pretty much a little bit about myself. And now to Albin.
Yep. I'm Albin. I produce music and DJ. I produce mainly pop and house music. DJ around nightclubs. I'm soon turning 18 in like 20 days actually. And I live in Angered.
All right.
I think that's it.
Pretty much, I
Yeah.
guess.
Right, yeah, so my name is David. I'm 16 years old. And as Nick, I also have an e-commerce store with a friend of mine. And we sell custom engravings. It's called mycustomengravings.com. And now we've expanded a little bit. We also sell jewelry, rings, stuff like that.
All right, that's nice. So what we thought for this first episode is to first present ourselves so you guys know who we are and what we do, at least for now, and also talk a little bit about our own ideas for the podcast, what we expect to do with this, and what that's pretty much it. What we expect to do with this, right? Yeah. So I'll start. For this podcast, it is still business related, we can say. But because we're so young, right? Yeah. Young people, we don't know shit about what we're talking about, right? So we can't really go out there and have our own mentorship programs or motivational speaking, because we don't have experience for that. So what this podcast is actually about is about us acquiring experience, right? So us talking about our challenges, failures, and maybe even successes with businesses or many projects. Because like Albin, he's more in the music side, but that's really, really relevant nowadays still in the entrepreneuring world. I think you guys would agree.
Yeah.
And what I thought is that we could show our ideas and try to find new ways to improve them and possibly even execute them in the future. That doesn't mean that we're gonna do everything we talk about here, or that we're gonna tell you guys everything. But this is just some insight on our thought process, and I think that's fun. Also, in addition to that, the idea is for us to get out there and produce more content, because we know that nowadays this is a very, very valuable currency. The most content, like people that produce the most content, usually are the most seen and the ones that have the most reach. So we are producing our own type of content, and the only real type we can produce. We're not gonna lie here and say that we know everything, because we don't. We just don't. So I guess I'll pass the mic to Albin now. He will talk about a little bit
About the
what he thought.
podcast.
Yeah. What do you think?
Like what we're trying to
Do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we are not only going to talk about the ideas, but I think we're going to talk about trying to succeed in life. And but just like Nick said, we don't know a lot of things about the industries, so we are trying to figure it out as much as people watching this maybe are trying to figure it out as well. So like 5 year forward, when we watch this, and we're going to think where we were and where we are in that place. So I think that's that. We're just going to talk about everything, but mainly ideas and trying to become something in our lives.
Yeah, I think that one important thing that I actually didn't touch much on was that we're gonna try to be as transparent as possible. This is more of a conversation, and not as much of a scripted program.
Exactly.
This first part here, like we gave it some thought, of course, but the rest of it and most of it is most likely gonna be us just looking up things to talk about on our own and then discussing it to each other. And most of all, actually learning about each other. Because I met Albin like pretty recently. I spoke to David since I started my store, but in the beginning of the year. But we actually met face to face like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. All right. Sorry to cut you, David.
Yeah, no.
Go on.
I think we all have a similar understanding about the podcast. I think we're on the same page. I agree with what Nick and Albin said. Basically, that we don't know, a lot about business, but we'll happily share what we know about it, and also that we all, are in school, currently study. So that's another aspect of it, of balancing school and business, and how that's working out for us.
Yeah,
so basically, sharing our stories and experiences,
challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
failures.
Yeah, and also like balancing out with whatever else we also do, because. I believe, at least I can speak for myself. My schedule is pretty full with like school projects and stuff. Because I myself am in the last year of school. You guys are in the second, right?
Yeah. I would be in the last, but
you.
Yeah.
Well,
I lost one. So
no, explain that story. Like,
well,
what happened?
First I went at a school called Lund. I think a lot of you guys watching this know what school that is.
At least in the beginning.
Yeah, and I went in the economic line. Do you say it like that?
Program.
Yeah. So and it didn't work out for me. It was pretty hard, and I was just fucking around. I didn't listen on the classes or anything. So I changed from economics to now I don't know what this is called in English, but
was it Handels?
Yeah.
It's more like. I guess it's business.
Business, exactly.
Yeah,
so
sort of.
I lost 1 year because of changing the school and changing the program, but it was a very good decision I made, and it has impacted my life a lot. So yeah, that's the short story of it.
All right, nice. Yeah, cool. And you, David, like, if you could talk to us a little bit about your thought process on creating that store and where you were when you actually started, and your story.
Yeah, so basically, me and my friend, we started it like when we were kind of young, or like I think it was 1.5 years ago now. So
oh really? Oh
yeah, or.
No, wasn't it the beginning of the year?
Yeah, sorry, beginning of the year.
No, so that one it was like 10 months ago. No,
exactly. Yeah.
So,
anyway, so we were thinking that it's mostly experience, learning about it, because we had no idea what we're doing. But now we've learned a little bit more, and we're learning along the way.
Yeah,
trying to learn from others as well. For example, you, Nick.
Sure. No, yeah. If I'm gonna speak a little bit about my thought process, it's really similar to David's here. I didn't really again focus on, in fact, making money. That wasn't like my top priority for this idea.
Same here.
It was more on the learning side of things. Like, I wanted to know how to handle Shopify, because that's how I do this. And I actually found out about this drop shipping, which is something that maybe David can explain to you, because he does it too with his store. I've been trying to move away from it because I've had some failures, but this all can be discussed here. So, maybe David, if you could give us some insight on what drop shipping is, I'll help you out if you need.
Yeah, so basically drop shipping is the benefits with it. The reason actually why we chose it, and probably Nick as well, is because there's no real risk with it. So you don't really go minus, only with the actual fees that you pay. For example, the Shopify fee and the domain you have, right? And the thing with drop shipping is that you don't buy like a bunch of products. You don't have it in stock. What you do is you basically take the order from the customer, and then you basically ship out the product from the supplier directly to the customer. Like that's basically what it is, you know.
Yeah, like
No stock.
you're
just
more or less a middleman
exactly.
in the process. So the main problem I found with that is that it's really easy nowadays for normal people to find those products directly, especially with our main source, which was AliExpress. It's easy for anyone to go there, search for the same product, and find it. And a problem I had personally was that I didn't feel that those products were actually mine, right? I was reselling them, so but I wasn't making them. It wasn't my design. It wasn't anything like that. It was more like a compilation, and my main selling point was convenience.
Yep.
Right.
Same.
So that's why I've been trying to move away from it. So I did. I can look at them right there. I have some samples for shirts, and on the side there, I contacted a supplier and I began producing some shirts for. It's mainly for promotion. It's like merch, and well, it's been going fine, but I still have a lot to learn about advertising and marketing, which will help out in the future. All right, I think that's enough about me and David. But
yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, of course.
In drop shipping as well, you can't really like. You're not always happy with what the supplier provides. So that's another thing. You don't really stand behind your product to 100%, which I don't really like, which I would like to do. And it's kind of like a good way to do that, the way Nick is doing it right now, to move away from dropshipping a little bit and create your own product, And then that is when you can have that feeling, that you're proud of this product and you're happy sending it out to the customer, which you don't have when you're dropshipping because you don't actually get the product before you send it out.
Yeah. Now, before I ask about Albin's music here, I actually want to ask about something that we actually had an idea, at least I did, for the podcast as well, that I didn't include before, which was to actually include different perspectives, because me and David were more into the business side, because we focused on that. But Albin here, he is too, but he's been doing more music, and he has more an outside perspective, at least into our stores, right? So I wanted Albin to give his opinion a bit on what he thinks of this dropshipping and these stores that we made. Well, what do you think, Albin?
The thing is, I've read a little bit about Shopify, and that it, like David said, and you said too, that people order shit, and then that's when the package starts to, send to
the customer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's a good step towards the future. I don't know much about,
No, because
the companies and shit like that.
Yeah, no, because we were explaining here that drop shipping is different. Like with Shopify, you can do any sort of store.
Yeah, so
right?
you don't have a stock at home, but you.
Yeah, drop shipping, you don't have the stock.
Yeah.
You order directly, and then the supplier sends it to the customer.
Exactly.
The supplier just buys with you.
Yeah.
And then you get a commission on it.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Do you think that it fits nowadays? Because like before the information age, right? It makes sense for people that didn't know how to find those products, like from China, for example, directly, would need a middleman for that. Okay, so we got our... Okay, guys, I think the screen might be black right now, because Sebastian, our cameraman, which we haven't presented yet, is fixing the video, so... Give us
difficulties.
A second. We're back?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, let's do that, because
Sebastian here.
I was trying to fit in.
Do you want to sit here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Sebastian here is our cameraman because he has a camera and he is a man.
The camera.
Exactly.
So I was behind the stage and I could look at them talk.
Yeah, he was
That's
actually
really-
on his phone, but
Yeah.
It was really interesting.
okay. So, like I asked Albin, what do you think of this? Me and David were talking about. What do you think of it? Like, if you had to like say.
I wasn't listening.
Okay, better yet.
Problem. So I think I'm gonna go back.
Are you
All
sure?
right.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce yourself? Who are you?
Okay, I'm Sebastian. I'm from Italy, and I
Nice.
came to study here in Sweden 2 years. I met Nick, my classmate.
Since then, your life just went down.
Downhill.
Nice. Yeah.
Downhill.
Downhill completely. Okay. Yeah. Was it because of me?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But now I'm here doing a podcast.
Yeah.
It's
For
fun.
for Cass, right?
Podcast.
Oh no! Come on, don't pun it. No. Okay, so I guess I'll explain what CAS is because these guys actually have no idea. In my program, I do IB for those who don't know. That's International Baccalaureate, and in there, well, you choose your subjects, but you have to do something called CAS, which is Creativity, Action, and Service, and it's like extracurricular, and you have to like do it, and you have to reflect on it like monthly. So like for creativity, for example, I cook, right? At least like once a week. And then for activity, I go to the gym. But there's something called a cast project that you have to do. It's the same thing, but you have to do it with different people. So that's, I guess, what Sebastian is going to do.
And that's why I'm here. No,
The only reason,
no,
right?
No, that's not true. I want to help my friends.
Oh,
This is
that
a
is
cool
so
project.
nice. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you, Sebastian. Do you want to
You're
stay here?
welcome.
Or?
I'm gonna go back.
No.
To
Okay, goodbye, Sebastian. Okay, backstage. Hi, bye, Sebastian. All right. So I guess that's a good segue for us to talk about Albin's music. Come on.
Should I talk about my music?
Yes, talk about your music.
How it started?
Yeah, like I mean, talk about how it started and
Yeah, where did you get the
where you
idea
are.
from?
It's funny. It's a funny story because it all started. I think it was my best friend, my currently best friend as well, came to me, and before he showed me a track, a song from Avicii. It was an old song he produced, and before he showed me that song, I used to listen to rap, old school rap. I was a little shitty guy, thought that I was something by listening to Tupac. So I used to listen to Tupac and Biggie and all of those rappers, and he came to me. He said, "Yo, you have to listen to this song." And I was like, "Is it rap?" He was like, "No." I was like, "I don't want to listen to it then."
Oh wow.
It's like, "But you have to listen to it." So I put on the headphones. I started listening to it, and I started, singing with the beat, with my foot and starting to,
Okay.
sort of dance
And when was this?
around 2013 maybe.
Okay.
So I've been doing
while.
this for how many years? 5 years. And he showed me the song, and I was like, "Who's this?" He said, "Avicii." Avicii was kind of big then,
yeah. Yeah.
around
yeah.
2013. And I went home. I went into Google and searched up Avicii, and it was a YouTube clip where he was producing music. And in that clip, you could see on his computer, you could see the software he used to produce music. So I found it, I cracked it because I didn't have money to buy it. So I downloaded the program and I just started playing around, pressing buttons. I didn't know anything about music, and I just tried to do something. And 5 years later, I'm here.
Well,
Yeah.
you're here, but like,
I'm here.
what you didn't tell us is about that song.
The
Show
song,
you
yeah,
that you
What have
actually
you
made. That's on
accomplished?
Spotify right now. You got to
Exactly.
check it out. Okay, not just Ace of Hearts or My Custom Engravings. You got to check out Show You. Right.
So it's funny because the songs that I used to make before, like 5 years before, they were shitty. They were so fucking shitty. And me and my friend, we used to listen to them just, for fun. And 5 years later, I was sitting next to my computer, just doing something, trying to find some new melodies. And I found a guy from the US, and he was an artist. So he sent me a sample of him singing. I put the sample in the software, and then I was just putting shit on top of it, melodies and different instruments. And 2 months later, I think I was finished with it. And I was like, this is going to be my first song. So I put it on Spotify, iTunes, all those streaming services. And it's my first song, and I'm really, really, really fucking happy.
Yeah, it actually it sounds damn good.
Yeah, you should be.
Right? Yeah, you really should be. But you were talking to us before the show.
Yeah.
A little bit about how you went to. Well, you have this recording label, right?
Yeah.
That you contacted and you worked with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how does that actually work? Like, how did you find them? How did you work?
You have to get permission to use certain samples.
Like copyright, right?
Exactly. Some of the samples you use, they are so-called royalty-free, which means that you can use them and you can get all the royalties, and you don't have to, write anything down or sign any contracts. But this record label, they didn't want to say his name, the artist's name, because of, I don't know, privacy reasons, I don't know.
So the artist that was singing your song, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know his name, I don't know anything about him. And I asked the record label, I said, can I use his name for credit purposes? They said, no, we want to keep the name out.
Secret, right?
Exactly.
But how did you get in contact with this guy?
I did it through the label. So I contacted them, and they are a label which provides music producers with samples. So I contacted them and I said, I found the sample first, and he sent another one to me, and then, I don't know, we just started to talk, me and the record label, a guy that works in the record label.
Was it through email or how did you?
Yeah, through
okay,
email.
cool.
And then I asked them for permission. They said, yeah, you can use it. You can keep 100% of the royalties. And I said, why not? So everything I earn comes directly to me. I don't have to cut it and share it to them or anything. Everything comes to me. And that's the music producing part. Now a DJ. I'm also a DJ. So that started when I was 15, actually. A very, very good friend of mine who lives in Switzerland. He was doing a sort of show. I don't know what's a gig. And he asked me, do you want to come? He was providing the flight, the hotel, everything. I was like, why not? So at the age of 15, I flew to Switzerland, had my first gig there, which gave me a sort of name. So when I came back to Sweden, a lot of people knew about it, and since then I just started playing around in different clubs. So that's the short story of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Just to take a detour here, you talked about your name, right?
Yeah.
We were also speaking about this because
The last name, right?
like the last
Yeah.
name, yeah, my last name, your last name, and also David's last
Yeah.
name. Like, people are most likely gonna, I guess, butcher it, right? They're gonna get it wrong. No, and it's fine, right? Because like my next last name is actually spelled Gonçalves, or pronounced, sorry, Gonçalves. But most people are just gonna read it as Goncalves, right? And which is fine. Like, for me, it's fine. But like yours, Albin,
My last name,
like, how do you pronounce it, and
So-
how do people pronounce it in English?
I'm Albanian, or Albanian Kosovar. So you say it Karaja, but people in Sweden pronounce it Karaksa. So in English, maybe you should just say Karaksa.
Yeah, I guess so. Correct.
Karaksa.
It's like Goncalves, right?
Yeah.
So wait, just a second. Sebastian, is that everything all right with the camera there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. No one's gonna hear you, but all right. Be careful, because some cameras just turn off when you do that. Is it on? Oh my god. Where am I supposed to put this on?
Computer.
In the computer? I don't have any ports here, dude. Wait, 1 second, guys. All right, put it here. Check the camera. Guys, just speak.
we speak.
You guys keep talking. Come on.
Talk about what? You are the host, so
Yeah.
You don't know
No,
what
but
to
you were
talk
talking about your name.
my name, yeah.
Yeah, and then now David.
David started talking about his name.
Did
yeah.
you talk about your
No,
name?
but I'll do
I
it.
missed that.
Sure.
Wait, just one last thing. Sebastian, is everything all right there? No? Is it filming?
Yeah, yeah.
Why is it not all right?
Because it's not charged.
Is it
What,
charging?
Charging?
Is
It
it
is?
charging or
It's not.
no? I think we're gonna have to take a pause then.
You can go
n-
until it goes.
No, when it goes away, then you tell us. All right? Okay.
Do you
just
know like about how many minutes we have left? 15.
15. Okay, it's good to know.
Yeah,
So,
right.
guys, you know that we're gonna take a pause in 15 minutes to charge the camera. Yeah, bear in mind that it's the first time we do it, and
Yeah, I think this episode is gonna be shitty, but
no,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
First
good.
one.
I told the guys here that it's good because then you guys can see like our
progress.
progress. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, let me just put the cable
It's
that
gonna
way.
be fun to look back
Yeah,
after
exactly.
like 5 years.
Yeah, of course.
Like, we are
imagine
gonna-
How shit
seeing
we
us,
were.
like, yeah.
We are gonna
But by the way, hello, Nick, Albin, and David from 5 years
years.
from now, from
Exactly.
10 years
Hi.
from now, and
maybe 15.
yeah, and hi, Sebastian. You're gonna also be listening or watching this. So yes, he is actually pointing his finger behind. He said he just
50
said 50
years.
years from now. 50 years. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Fair enough. Yeah. No, but Sebastian, don't forget that
And,
they can't hear you. Okay.
And profanity.
Profanity.
Yeah.
What's up?
When I talk, I just want the listeners to know about this. When I talk, I like to express myself a lot
Yes. No, but
with profanity. So I use a lot of fuck, shit, cunt, and all of those words. So
yeah.
just so you know. So
Yeah.
that-
No.
so that-
Yeah,
I think that.
what?
What? Okay. Is it screen black again? Are we on again?
Alright.
Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, profanity.
Yeah.
As I said before, we want to be as transparent as possible. We're not gonna try to be someone else, and because that's not family friendly, because we're not actually family friendly ourselves, mostly, I guess.
Yep.
We're gonna end up using those words, but
Fuck
as
yeah.
long as as long as you don't offend anyone, it's fine. You just offended me, but it's all right.
Yeah, but we're
It's
cool
all
with
right.
that.
I don't care about my feelings, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
topic.
What's up?
What should we talk about?
Okay.
The podcast.
Oh, wait, my last
Or
You're not.
Yeah.
Got to
So,
that.
okay,
Okay.
I'll just say.
David.
So my last name is Kulich. It's pronounced Kulich. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's spelled Kulich.
Yeah,
That's
with
how
like
I
a
thought it
CH.
was pronounced as well.
So
Sebastian's. I want to know
Yeah.
your last name.
Yeah, what's your last name?
Okay, get the
Verratis.
microphone. Yeah, no, it's Atanasio or something, right?
So my last name is Atanasio.
Atanasio.
It's a typical Italian one.
Are you from?
I love how like you guys can't see him, but like he's
Yeah.
just speaking to us,
I'm-
right? Yeah.
I'm the background.
From the limbo.
ghost. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Backstage.
guys want to try to say
How?
Atanasio?
Atanasio.
Atanasio.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
that
it's
hard.
not that hard.
No, not at all.
You say Italian words. You say them as you read them. Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's no
I
strange
mean,
vowels
I
or something
I can
like
say the same thing for Portuguese, but no one actually guesses that that is
Yeah.
pronounced like that, right? When they read it.
that. Okay.
So yeah.
Wait,
I
are
guess.
you from which city are you?
I'm from Naples, the south. It's a
Pizza?
kind of good city, I think. Not that good, but yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
All right, nice.
Last
Nice.
name Atanasio. Now we know it.
Yeah, now we
Yep.
know. Now we
Nice.
know. Okay, Gonçalves, Caraxa,
Correct.
Kulich, and Atanasio. Now, okay,
Okay.
yeah. Let me segue to that as well. This is our very own, not our very own, Brazilian candy that we have right here. For those Brazilians watching, this is Sete Belo, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
And for those who are listening, I'm just taking candy from a bowl, okay?
Can I get
just
one?
to. What is it, Sebastian?
Oh, do you want one? Can I get one?
Okay.
All right, nice.
Bye bye.
Guys, you guys have to speak now because I have candy in my mouth. So
Okay, but which topic should we talk about now? Anything.
it's up to you. Talk about music. Talk about business. Talk about, or David, talk about your perspective on Albin's song. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the song. I really do, and it's pretty cool that you work with like other labels, and yeah, it's pretty weird that like they have this policy, that they don't give out the name. I don't know much about music and stuff, so that was kind of surprising. Is this common that you have this contract, or
Actually,
is
don't
it
know.
just
I don't know. I've never heard that. That the labels would keep the name secretly, a secret. But I don't know. I don't know why. I really
You
don't
don't know.
No.
You don't know. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
weird.
it's weird. Like every industry has its own weird
side.
things, weird side things.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All
you
right.
also have a contract, right?
Nah.
Man.
No. The thing is, the label that I use to put out the music
Mhm.
is called DistroKid. Now the producers maybe know that. DistroKid it's distributions kind of center where you just upload your music and then they will do the rest. But you pay a yearly, what is it called? Fee?
Fee. Yeah.
Yeah. For like $35 maybe. It's very cheap, and you get
Oh, wow.
all of the royalties.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah,
Nice.
very cool.
All right. I think we talked a lot about like what the main things that we like, right? Our main hobbies and business, music, and all of that. But
Yeah.
like one thing I don't know about you guys is actually the side things that you liked. I don't know if you do like anything else, but I'm guessing you do. So
Start
be
with
it-
David.
Yeah, start with David. Sure. No,
Like
like
hobbies
anything
or-
like hobbies. Like I don't know. Like for example, I'll give you some of mine at least from my childhood.
Yeah, go ahead, start.
Yeah, like I used to skateboard a lot. Maybe even people that know me now don't actually know as much that I used to skateboard a lot. I was never very good at all. I could ollie, okay? Could never kick flip. Always tried. I still have a skateboard. I can try, but I can't do it. I actually, this is one thing I don't discuss very much, but since we're talking about things like that, once in my life, I actually wanted to be an actor. Yeah, this is weird.
And he eats pizza with pineapple.
Yep.
Okay.
And honey.
and honey, yeah.
Yeah, we were eating pizza before this, and I was like, why not honey in pizza?
Pizza with fucking pineapple.
What?
What the?
It's
And
Hawaiian
honey.
pizza from Canada, right? If you guys don't know, Hawaiian
And-
pizza actually comes from Canada, straight from there.
Sebastian is
That's
from Italy.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. He's from
I
Italy.
think he got really offended
Yeah.
when he put honey and pineapple on pizza.
At least I don't put ketchup on my pizza, right, Albin?
no, I've tried it. It's amazing, but ketchup, it's like
It's not
tomatoes.
It's
Tomato.
even more disgusting.
No,
He's just getting more and more offended.
no, but the honey. He put honey on his pizza.
Why not?
What the
honey.
fuck was that?
Sweet
Yeah.
and salty. You know, it's just like the pineapple.
I think you're gonna get a lot of shit
Look,
for that.
if you guys...
A lot of
maybe. If the pineapple didn't get me enough shit, right?
I mean, he was
No.
sitting in front of us, and his facial
I was just
expression,
looking-
it was
watching.
priceless. I was like, what the fuck
It
are
was
these guys
good.
doing?
It was really good. No, because I love... Okay, if you guys like sweet and salty things, please try just rice, sesame seeds, and honey. Perfect.
Fucked up.
No, okay, getting back to that. Like, I was... when I was a kid, it wasn't that long ago, a couple of years ago, I actually wanted to be an actor and went to acting class.
Mhm.
And it was really bad because, like, acting class was literally just us in, like, circles. Like, if we were, like, 5-year-olds, like, I don't know, doing little exercises. We didn't even learn lines. It was pretty bad, actually. It was here in
Aw.
Sweden, actually.
Nah.
But, like, one thing I realized with that, which was actually pretty important, I think, is that is something I wanted the result or like the outcome from it, but I didn't really want to do the job, right? So I didn't really enjoy the journey. I never really liked memorizing stuff like lines. I was never really good at improv for anything at all, even this. maybe. I'll see if I can improve. But it wasn't my top thing. Like I didn't want to go through that. But like for business, I'm still trying out, right? I'm still gonna try out until I'm like 40, 80, whatever, right? But I'm trying out in the sense that I'm doing stuff because I like it. But if I stop liking it, I might change it, and it's fine. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur, so I will be an entrepreneur. I have to be that thing. Like I have to have that drive for it. And right now I do, but maybe in the near future I won't.
Yeah.
So I think that's something very important to think about.
Yeah, and I think drive is very important, motivation,
Yeah.
because I think I read like something about that 1 out of 10 businesses succeed.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that. So, you know, you really have to have that drive, that motivation to keep on going, because, you know, most likely you're not going to succeed first try.
Yeah, for sure. No, but I think this is most likely the same for Albin here with music.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say I'm a musician or an entrepreneur and just try my best to be one. I have to be one. Like it's not something I have to fake it until I make it. Right?
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Right? So Albin, what do you think about that? Actually, like in your opinion.
I don't know. Sometimes, maybe I'm going out of the line right now, but sometimes you have days where you just don't feel like doing it anymore.
Okay.
Certain days you just feel like you. Oh wait, we were talking about
What?
about what? About
drive
drive,
and
more.
drive.
motivation
Yeah,
for-
exactly. So
to accomplish your goals.
yeah, some days you just feel like not doing it anymore, and you just have to take a pause sometimes, and just try to breathe in and focus on your goals. And
Cut again? It's dead. Okay. Guys, we are taking a break right now. You're probably just going to see our logo right now, but taking a break. We'll be back in just a second. Okay. Guys,
All right,
We're back. we're back. And we have an interesting story, right?
Yep.
Okay. So all of those problems we were having with the camera were due to the SD card, apparently. So our solution was to get a new one. So we went to David's house here to get a new one. And when we came here, what happened, David?
I mean, it was fried, so yeah,
Like
nothing really.
yeah, nothing happened. But so our solution right now is, as you can see, I'm not
Yeah, we
looking
have
at
a
the camera. I'm
huge-ass
looking
mirror
at
behind the camera.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I'm
can
looking
see
at a
myself.
mirror right there, and I can see the screen, and I can see if it stops recording. I'm gonna fix it in just a second. So if you see the symbol or black screen or whatever, it's because it stopped recording for a second. So
Yeah.
now you guys know.
But
At
they
least
will
you
see
guys
it.
from YouTube, right? If you guys are listening, there shouldn't be a change at all, right?
no,
Nah.
I don't think so.
Okay. So picking up from where we left, we're talking about motivation. I
Yep.
think.
Yeah.
So
Exactly, the drive
That's
to
the
continue.
part what I fucked up.
Yep.
Um,
Do you want to continue on that point?
I don't remember exactly what. So I would just talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
said that you
General-
had like days where you didn't feel like
Yeah.
you
Oh yeah, yeah.
working,
Let's
you know?
keep going on that.
The thing is, not only music
take candy.
producer. Yeah, take one.
Go.
I'm a music producer, so all people that produces music know exactly what I mean. When you just open up a project and you feel like you are not creative or you don't feel inspired or anything. So I think one thing that you can do that is good is just to shut the program down and just take a moment and relax, and then go back and you will feel better. So sometimes, some days you don't have a lot of motivation. Some days you have it. It depends. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes, it's like, when I work,
Yeah.
sometimes you decide on, okay, well, shit, after school Thursday, I have a bunch of time. And go ahead and do this, and that.
Mm-hmm.
But, sometimes maybe on that Thursday, you don't feel like working. I think they
Yeah.
can probably relate. There are days where you don't really have the energy, you're just really tired. You're happy
Yeah, I feel
you're
like
through the day.
with me, it might be a bit different. at least at this point in my life, because like before I can totally relate with you guys, and maybe even now, but let me just fix this. Yeah, for right now, what I feel like I do is that if I get bored with something, or if I'm not inspired to do one thing specifically, I do something else. Because the last thing I want to do is do nothing, right? I hate being bored, and that's the main reason why I've been trying to do as many things as possible. So if I'm bored with the school things, I'm going to go to business, even if that means I'll get stressed out afterwards, which I am, by the way. That's just me. But I can totally relate to your guys' point on, like, you have to take a moment and, like, take a walk, for example.
Yeah, but like
right?
for example, if you know you have a deadline coming up in school
Yeah,
or something,
of course,
you know,
of course.
and you're on like Friday and you say you have to work on Wednesday and Thursday, you know, you might not feel like working on the school project at least.
Yeah.
On those days,
Definitely,
you know?
definitely.
That can
that's-
suck sometimes. You know, you just don't feel creative. You just don't feel like
Yeah.
you're effective.
And in like my part, I always have to be creative when I start making music. Always.
sure.
And sometimes you just feel like you're not being creative, or some days you just have days where you don't feel like making anything, just sleeping. So that's the hard part, being a producer or doing shit.
Yeah.
But do you have tips to, like, for example, to, you know, avoid that
Ins-
or be as creative as possible?
Getting inspired
Getting inspired from
yeah.
others?
from others. Me usually,
Mhm.
it's pretty weird, but I get inspired from the weather.
Okay.
So
yeah,
if,
but it does make sense.
if it's
it affects your mood.
yeah, exactly. If it's sunny outside, I'll just shut the computer down, go outside, and just watch the sun, and get some kind of melodies in my head, and go back make music.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. I think the problem with school that we have is that different from other activities, we can't really ignore it, right? When we're working on something else, we can go and change it, even if we like have it depends on the deadline, of course. But like David said, if you have like 2 days, you have to work on it. You have to suck it up, right? It's school, especially for me. Like, it's my last year. I don't want to fuck it up right now. So and it is my priority right now. But that's why I'm not like I do well in school, but it's not my favorite, right? Like I wouldn't like to be in school for the rest of my life for sure. Like I don't want to do medicine, but like I would never really want to do anything that would take most of my life in school.
Yeah,
right?
and another thing I would like to add is school is you kind of have the same mindset as when you work, when you have a job, because school it's very like that people, you know, decide. It's like, okay, you have this deadline for like 20th, right?
You have people above you, right?
Exactly. And another thing with entrepreneurship and what we're doing is that there is no one above us,
We
which is really
decided.
cool. Which is, for example, if you say, well, on Wednesday I need to, you know, work on my business. You know, maybe you can work on something else if you don't feel like it, and on Thursday work on that instead. Because you usually, if you don't set yourself deadlines, right, you're very flexible. You can work whenever you feel like it.
You are your own boss.
Exactly, which is a huge positive, and which is my goal in my life.
Exactly.
At the same time, it's even more of a challenge, I feel like, for most people at least, for me for sure, that because you're your own boss and you're doing your own thing, if you don't set that deadline, you know that you're going to fail just because of yourself, not because of anyone else.
Yep.
So you cannot delegate anything, any fault to anyone else.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important and very valuable in choosing this path. Because then if I don't do something, I know it's my fault, right? It's clear cut. But yeah, that actually connects to one point that I made in my head, I guess a year ago, because I was looking back, trying to see like why I actually wanted to pursue entrepreneurship, at least for now, right? I'm testing it out, testing waters. I might even not like it in the future, right? And it's up to me. which is actually very good that I realized I don't have to do this, right? Which is very nice. But there were two things that I connected. One thing was that I remember doing like bake sales, and like I had like a orange juice stand. Like it wasn't really a stand, but like I sold it, even though it was really bad, like when I was a kid. But I especially in school when we had these bake sales, like I really liked, I don't know, selling and like getting, I guess, a good deal for me due to convenience. I don't know. I thought that was fun, right? Just turning profit. I just liked it, right? But that wasn't all of it, because if I only liked that, I could be a salesman, right? Any salesman. But at the same time, I was very influenced by people online that were their own boss, and I thought that was cool. But until I really started working, I hadn't realized that, like recently, right? And now that I do have a boss, like I work at a restaurant, right? It's cool. Like that restaurant, I love it because it's a very small restaurant. Like my boss is literally 25. It's so cool. He's really cool. But I can see that like I feel more comfortable when I'm my own boss because of that thing that you put the fault on yourself. I'm not saying any like, my bosses were faulty, but I'm just saying that I can be held accountable for my mistakes.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good thing, to be honest, because you know, if it's like if you fucked up on something, you know, it's your fault, and then next time you know how to improve upon that.
You won't do it.
Because maybe there is like miscommunication within a company. You know, you have someone above you, they choose or they say, you know, oh, you have to do this or whatever. And then maybe you just did a part of it or something, you know. And I think it's way better if you're responsible for everything. You know what you've done and what you haven't done.
Yeah, it's really funny. I heard a quote recently, like a couple of days ago. This guy that was saying that he wanted to be his own boss because he didn't want anyone to tell him when to take a piss. Like I thought that was funny. Like I actually heard it in an audiobook that I might talk about in a sec. But what do you think, Albin? Like I've been talking to David, but like, what do you think about being your own boss?
I agree to everything you say, and I really don't have anything else to add because I think it's good to be your own boss because when you fuck up, then you know why you fuck up, and you won't fuck up again if you really want to succeed in life. So I totally agree.
Yeah, and another thing, you know, like this quote that you mentioned is, you know, you can take a piss whenever you want.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's kind of true, because everybody works in, you know, different ways. And I know how I work, you know, personally, what I like to do when I like to do it. And, you know, let's say you want to work like, you know, 8 hours a day, let's say that's the goal. You know how to like split it up. Maybe you like to sleep in the morning. Yeah. And then, for example, like me, I am super motivated during the evening. Like I can sit from like 8 p.m. to like 2 a.m. and just like grind, you know, like as much as I want. But maybe, you know, during the afternoon, just after I ate, you know, I'm super tired. I just want to sleep, you know. And then I might want to sleep, you know, charge up for the evening and then just like hustle. Yeah. That's how I work.
No, that makes sense. That makes complete sense.
So that's another thing. Nobody can say, you know, it's like, oh, you can't work right now. Like I have my laptop. I have, you know, myself.
Sometimes I just wake up at 12 and just start making music.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I feel like it.
It depends on who you are. I remember vividly of like people like before, because one of my interests that I actually didn't touch on, I think David has a similar one. That's it's going to the gym actually, and I remember before I even started, like someone telling me that, oh yeah, I don't really like going because I can never hold myself accountable, right? And that's a good point because like not everybody is like that, right? Some people just work better if they know what to do. They have like a list of like, I don't know, their boss just told them do this, right? Yeah. And I can say like I work well like that, but when I do it, right, when I tell myself what to do, because I know how like I've been learning. I'm still learning, of course, like how to hold myself accountable. But I feel like that works better for me, at least at this point in my life. Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry about that, but yeah, we're gonna still have to keep checking the camera, but it's no problem. These first times, we're not even gonna live stream it. We're not sure if we're gonna be able to do that soon, even on the second podcast or anything. But
Yeah,
next
it's gonna
time
be
we'll
fun to look back in 10 years.
yeah, like us just
See how
stopping
shit
the
we
video
are.
like
Yeah.
every 10 minutes. You
Exactly.
stop. But hopefully it's no problem for you guys just listening to the audio. Um, it'll be fine. We'll pull through. But next time we'll have a better SD card. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it'll be out on Spotify or
Yeah. The idea is that we're gonna use a program called Anchor, and this will allow us to put it there on
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple, Google,
yeah.
and we're gonna put it on SoundCloud. So those are all the audio ones. The only video
Exactly.
one is YouTube.
Exactly. So the audio is good, but the only problem is the footage.
Yeah, of course, but we'll handle it.
Yeah,
you
we'll
guys don't
fix it.
worry about it. Okay, so moving on. I think that one thing that we didn't finish really was other interests
Oh, yeah.
that we had. So I talked about going to the gym, skateboarding, and other things that I used to like
Mm-hmm.
that were like phases. But you guys, like, do you have something from the past, from right now?
I
Like-
used to play soccer.
Okay.
I used to play soccer when I was about 13 maybe.
Okay.
13, 14. I played it mainly because my brothers used to play it, and I thought my brothers were very good at it, so I thought maybe I could become a soccer player. I don't know. I started. It didn't end that well because I get angry pretty fast, and as we
And?
talked before, that I don't like people to tell me what to do.
Yeah, of course.
And
I get that.
you know the what is it called? The trainer, when
Coach.
he's the coach, exactly. The coach, when he tells me what to do or that I did this wrong or that wrong, I was a young boy, so I couldn't take shit from anybody. So I quit that. And but nowadays, my interests are usually hanging out with the family and being with my sister and my two brothers and their kids, and usually just trying to find new stuff to do, trying to be creative and get inspired and all of that stuff.
But so, oh yeah, that's an interesting point that I had
Yeah,
no
that's
idea.
really cool.
Like family, so that's something that's very important to you, right?
Family's number. Now I'm not gonna say music is number one because
Oh, really?
I don't. I don't
Over
know.
the family.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. But family is the most important part because without my family, I wouldn't be where I am today. Without their love and
Yeah,
support.
of course, of
So,
course.
everything that I have, I owe it to them.
Yeah, I totally agree.
that's
Same here. Like, yeah.
Same.
All right. And you, David?
I
How about you?
mean, in the past, I've tried a lot of things, like, for example, soccer. And when I was, like,
Okay.
13
Yeah.
and 14, I actually used to, like, yo-yo.
Yeah.
Really?
Like,
Yo-yo.
tricks and
Yeah,
stuff.
like that.
Yeah. Was my
Did you do like the
friend in-
triangle and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. I was really into it. And I like tried magic. I was really good at like card tricks, or I thought I was really good at least. And then, so I tried a bunch of things. I also played badminton, ping
Yeah.
pong, stuff like that. But now it's more,
I think you grow out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
yeah, I think you do. And I think when you're younger, you're like to try like a lot of
Yeah.
things. Like, for example, my mother, she said that when I was little, I wanted a bunch of stuff. It's like, oh, I want this, oh, I
Yeah,
want that.
yeah.
But I had to save up to like buy something big.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
always said, it's like, don't buy it because in like a month you're not gonna think it's fun. And
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's
I had the
thing
same problem.
with like hobbies or like when you're younger. Like things
Yeah,
you like to do.
for
It's
sure.
like, okay, yo, that looks really cool. And I was like, I try it. And after like a couple of weeks, I was like, this shit. I don't want to
Yeah,
do this.
That was exactly me with like skateboarding. Like I did it a lot, and like I wanted to buy all of it, but I was never really good,
Yeah.
right? So I didn't feel like it was like I feel like there were so many new things, but like I would never like wear off my grip tape or wear off my board enough like to buy a new one. So I was always mad like I want to do this more, but I can't do it because like I'm
Yeah.
not very good at it. So like you have to at the same time that you have to try all these things, you have to see what you like to do, what you're good at, and what you want to do. So these
Yeah.
are different things, and then you have to align all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to find the best one.
Yeah.
And usually there are many, right? But like I mentioned acting before, Like, yeah, I don't want to go through the whole process. So it's not worth it for me. So it doesn't align
Yeah.
completely.
But what I like to do now is mostly I like to do a lot of DIY. I like a lot of tech, you know. I like to make my own tech. I love motorcycles as well, riding. It's super fun. I like to, you know, do my own twist or give motorcycles my own twist, you know, add like technology that I like, you know. It's like DIY it. I think airplanes are cool, like RC planes, like, you know,
Yeah, that's nice.
building
That's
it
nice.
yourself as well, like your own lights, like that's
Trying
really
to
cool.
innovate.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, that's nice. That's cool. I used to be very interested in video games. I don't know about you guys,
Yeah,
but
same.
yeah,
When I was younger.
yeah. When I was younger, like I played 24/7, all the time. And then there was like just a time that I stopped. I don't really know why. I just stopped caring that much. I don't know about you, Albin. Were you?
Fuck.
I think my parents had a big role in that. My parents, I used to play a lot, and they saw that it took on my energy, and I didn't perform well in school, and so they cut it off. And thanks to them, it was a pretty good choice actually.
All right.
So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but my parents, when I was like, I don't know, like 14 or something, I like to play like CS:GO and stuff, like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Those were, you know, 18 plus.
Uh-huh.
My parents, they didn't like that, you know, it was shooting and stuff. I don't know about your parents.
No, yeah, with my parents, like, as when I was really young, like before 12 or something, then they cared. But afterwards, like, it wasn't that bad. Like,
yeah, and I think
and-
like
and they trusted me.
Yeah, I think they didn't trust me. I think the problem was that they thought that, you know, it's like, oh, you can see that what's possible. You know, it's like, oh, you can run out with a gun, you know, shoot a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Then they think
yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Although, that's not how I saw it. You know, I think they were just
my parents didn't
overly
even know
protective.
that my parents they didn't even know that I was playing Call of Duty and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I did it
So-
behind their back too.
Yeah.
You know, because like
So when they
every
came
other-
in, I just
everybody
pressed
else-
pause and
Yeah.
That I actually never did. But like, yeah, I used to play a lot. But it like I think when I was really young, it was taking a lot of my time, and then it was better for me to like go outside and
Like-
stuff. But afterwards, I started scaling down, and then I stopped just because I wanted to do other things.
Have you played for so long that you have to take a piss, but you don't because you're in the middle of
No.
a session online
Yes.
on Call of
No.
Duty? Like, you know, I have sometimes when I used to play, I could feel the fucking piss.
No, come
You
on,
know,
man, come on, no,
like
no,
filling
no.
up, and I was like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna take a piss after I'm finished, and then I play one more after this one. So yeah,
I played a lot
Okay,
of
okay,
CS:GO, so
yeah.
at the end of the round, I mean, I quickly took a piss,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then maybe came back a little bit later.
I
but
never. Okay, that I
not
never
that far,
had.
maybe
no.
not, but
I
to a
was-
certain
oh my
extent.
God.
I was
no.
playing that for like I was really into it. I was you know playing, and I feel like I was going to pee on myself, but I
Oh
didn't
my
stop.
god! Yeah, no, I never went really that far. No,
People that went
no,
that far,
I've heard
they
stories
know
of
it.
people like, especially
Like I
now.
didn't shit myself.
No.
You know,
No,
Yeah,
no. Okay, no, but I've heard stories of like Fortnite, right? These kids playing like all the time, and you have to really be careful because like these things they're made to get you addicted, right?
Mhm.
That's what they want, and it's very very good for business, but you have to be careful for you not to get addicted, because then you have to do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you have to take a piss.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I never got addicted. I thought it was fun, but
Yeah.
then there was a point where it's like, okay, this is like starting to hurt, like in my back, and it's like, okay, now it's not fun that anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so then I just quit. And now I think the reason I don't play, or you know, very rarely, is because school probably, you know, and I just don't have time. Like, although sometimes, like once a month, sit down with a couple of friends, or like once every 2 months,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
fun.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that for
I feel like
2 hours, but then after that, it's not that fun anymore.
I don't play video games alone anymore.
Mhm,
Like
yeah, same.
but like when friends come over, like I offer and we usually play because it's fun to play
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
But the only problem is that nowadays, like there are many games that are just one player or only online, and those are not fun if you have more people around,
Mhm.
right? But yeah, that's one interesting thing for our generation. Sorry about that. that has had a lot of impact in our lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to see that we grow out of it as well. Because like for me, I didn't stop because of school. I stopped because I got new interests, and it was just not. I wasn't enjoying myself as much anymore. All right. And do you guys have anything else to add on this one? No?
Do you want to talk
No.
about voice?
Yeah, I want to talk about voice.
All right.
Fucking thank God.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yeah, we've been teasing Albin
yeah,
about this,
yeah,
but he still doesn't know
3
what it
hours.
is.
yeah, 3 hours since before we started the podcast. Like we've been telling Albin about this mystery thing, voice. Now, okay. So the reason why is because I was.
What is it? Let's start with that.
Yeah. I'll start with how I
Okay, yeah.
listened or like how I found out about it. Like I knew it from before, of course, but I was listening to maybe some of you will recognize Gary Vee for sure in the future. But I was listening to his audiobook, his latest one, I think, Crushing It, which is great. I recommend to anyone, right? I love that guy. He's really cool. But he talked about, one of the things he talked about, because he talked about social media and building a personal brand, as he always does. But the last thing that he talked about was voice. Voice is those things like Google Assistant and Alexa.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, for me, at least in the beginning, it was kind of hard. Like, I read the title of the thing, and I was like, okay, what does that have to do with personal brand? But then when I actually listened to that part, it's actually very interesting because there are these skills with these devices. I have a couple around the house. Then, for example, flash briefing. That's when you get like a 1 minute brief of the news for the day that you can subscribe to. So, for example, you subscribe to BBC News, and then they're going to tell you, oh, yeah, this and this and this is going on. But anyone can do that. Anyone can create one of those skills. So I, for example, could go there and create one for the podcast, which I record. Oh yeah, this is the pilot episode. We're gonna explain for the first time what we're talking about. And the thing is, you have to do that every day. So people ask like, Alexa, give me my flash briefings, and then she's just gonna run down all the ones you subscribe to. So anyone could do that, and anyone could record anything, any tips. No, I don't mean advertising, but like any tips that could bring value to someone, just like other social medias. And this could actually grow their following. And I think that's very interesting because it's from the future. Like there are like 5,000 skills. I saw a video about it on Alexa. And if you think about it, if you go on App Store, it's like 5,000 a minute that are being uploaded. 5,000 apps, I mean. That's very low competition. It's a very new and exciting platform. So what do you think, Albin? Now that you know.
Fuck. I don't know. I actually don't know. I never knew that this was
Yeah, a possibility, right?
a possibility.
Yeah, me neither.
So we can put our podcast into.
Yeah, we could put the whole if we put it on Google Podcasts, anyone could like ask to play that
Alexa,
podcast.
play up. Yeah.
Yeah, or
But,
just a short summary, you know?
Yeah, a short summary. That would be great because then we
What?
say like what we talked about in that podcast or in that week or whatever. Something that brings value to people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a tip for the day. Usually that's the thing that they do. Like for Gary Vee, I'm pretty sure, I haven't heard his, but he said that he has like something motivational. So he gives you motivation like for 1 minute every day.
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting because it makes sense why this would be a thing due to convenience.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. So, as I was saying, the exciting thing about this is convenience, and it makes sense why people would think that this is something new and exciting. So, for example, podcasting. It's been here for a while, but it's very popular because you can do more stuff at the same time, multitasking, right? So you can listen to it and go work out, and you pass the time and you get more value because you get more information at the same time, rather than watching a vlog right? A 15-minute vlog, you have to give all the senses at the same time.
Yep.
This is good because you don't even have to move a muscle besides your
Exactly.
vocal cords, right?
Yep.
So it's very exciting.
Yeah.
I think we could do something, not just for the podcast, for personal brand, and even
for the people.
other ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just to clarify, like this type of thing that we want to talk about for the podcast, for new ideas. Like this is a topic, and we can develop new ideas. Like for example, like I spoke to David a couple days ago about this, and I told him like, what if we made like a marketing agency out of this? I don't know. And I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if it's just good for personal branding. It's all ideas, and we could talk about it.
And I don't think that we should just talk about ideas on this podcast. I think we should talk about trying to motivate the people watching and inspire.
Yep.
Yeah, especially
Because we won't have ideas every week we meet.
no, for sure
Yeah.
not.
So, but we will always maybe feel inspired or try to make other people feel inspired, so that we get that out of the way.
Or
So
maybe
that-
but maybe even just shining the light on topics that can
Yeah.
give you ideas.
Yeah.
Right.
So that people won't come here and just think every time that we have an idea, because maybe we won't have, maybe we have. It's different all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, for sure. Like the objective is not to give our new idea every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
No, it's to develop ideas.
Exactly.
Some ideas
Inspire
might
and motivate
be
as well.
ongoing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, of course, this is for everybody. Anyone can watch this or listen to this, but especially for young people that are around our age, they can not only get inspired, but they can relate to what we're going through, right?
Exactly.
So, and also because we're young, it's better than if we were old, because old people can relate to the time that they were young.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it works for a bigger range, right? We don't have that much knowledge that we could help people, but we can show them how we think and how we are trying to succeed
Yeah.
in our age. So that's a little bit more about the gist of the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah. You guys have anything else to add?
No.
No? I think
I'm
that's it.
happy.
Yeah.
First episode.
Yeah.
2019, 1st of September.
1st of September. Yeah,
6
that's
o'clock.
a round number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now it's exactly 6:05 in the afternoon.
Yep.
It's gonna be so fun to watch this. Like
Yeah,
in 5
exactly.
years.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
gonna
for
laugh
Sure.
so fucking
Yeah,
much.
Exactly.
about so many times that the video had to stop for like a second or like
Yeah.
for a couple minutes, blank screen.
Really?
I'm sorry, especially for the people watching on YouTube, but we're gonna be working on that. Next week is gonna be better, and the other is gonna
Yeah.
be even better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just like my music.
Yes, of course, just like my
Yep.
business,
Exactly.
Yeah.
just like yours too. All right, guys, this has been Podcast Idea. Thank you very much for
First
joining us for
episode.
this one,
Pilot.
the pilot episode,
Yep.
and we'll hopefully see you next week
With
Thank
an
you.
SD card.
with
Yeah.
the new SD card.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Goodbye, guys.
All right. Take care. Bye.